and we'll be starting soon. So thank you once again for many of you to be here today. As I mentioned before, these are part of a series of different webinars that we're hosting as far as our face distance learning. You see there's many people here today in this box. And so with that, we'll start. I'm Requ. I work as the parent engagement educator for the district. I'm the one that sends all the messages to you. We have Ms. Margarita, who works as our Spanish interpreter as well. And for those that are asking for language interpretation in Spanish, there's a channel where you can listen to it in Spanish based on the language option. And then we have also Ms. Lee. She's our head counselor at Highlands High School. And then we also have Ms. Keisha Plyman, who works as the work experience teacher with us today. As a reminder, just to let you know, please send your questions to us via the chat and the Q&A if you have questions. I see some of you are raising your hands, but we're asking you to do this, just sending those messages via chat and Q&A. This is our agenda for today. As you can see, our goal is to provide information about Twin Rivers that are going on within the district. We'll have information from Ms. Lee talking about requirements, dual enrollment programs, standardized testing, the programs on from the higher educational systems, virtual graduations, and then Ms. Plyman will be talking about CTE programs, work experience, work permits, and so on. So just as a reminder for you, for a lot of the service information that you're receiving, you probably have seen this already, there's the website. So once you go to the district website or for the schools, you could be able to get the notification saying that schools are closed up to the remainder school year, and find any information when it comes to the district within the COVID-19 section. That's your first point of contact when it comes to information about summer schools or about requesting a laptop and other information like that. As well, we have our helplines. There's 3 different helplines. So for families that need help when it comes to IT support, you're trying to figure out a password and you have issues when it comes to accessing information, calling that number, 916-566-7802, is the best way as far as talking to somebody and help you in accessing your account for your son or daughter. For those who have IEPs or have information for special education, they have this line right here where you can call and contact them in case you have questions. There are 2 different lines. One is, if you want to speak to somebody between 12:30 and 3:30 p.m., there's that line, or in case you want to leave a message as well. And then for those that need help when it comes to enrollment, when it comes to nurses or any information like that, you have the helpline as well for them. Also a reminder too, for those that need help with enrolling their students for next year, that email right there is your first point of contact. They have a new way of enrolling students, and once you send an email, they'll help you with the process when it comes to finding your school, uploading documents, and starting from there. Also too, they're also taking appointments when it comes to work permits. As a result of COVID-19, since our schools are closed, a lot of our high school students have now the opportunity to work in grocery stores, having new opportunities as far as work experience. And Ms. Plyman will talk about what some of those could be as we go into the summertime as well. And as well, for those families that need a laptop, the school district has, in this case, have a link where you could request a Chromebook or hotspot, and you could fill out the survey as well. And in that way, we can also find this support your families when it comes to the use of a Chromebook or a hotspot or other information as well. And lastly, our nutrition services has now expanded their nutrition services programs. So now instead of receiving also breakfast and lunch, you'll be also receiving a meal for dinner for your son or daughter. It's from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. where they could go and pick up the information. I posted here the links as well. And as a reminder, before I forget, I want to share, we'll say that we'll share this presentation to you via email as well, and also with the information from everything that we share as well. And these are the sites that are available for you to find out. And as a reminder, if you have questions, please send those questions to us directly and via the chat and Q&A. And with that, we'll start with Ms. Lee. She'll be talking to you about the timeline when it comes to 9th to 12th grade.
So good afternoon, everyone. So I want to go over timelines for all 4 of the grade levels. Timelines can be you'll see that a lot of it is repetitive because we want to make sure that we're instilling the same importance on everything year to year to year. So there's only a few things that really change throughout the years. In your students' 9th grade year, all schools are giving the students a 4-year plan to help them kind of guide their path to every different course that they're going to need to take. And it's not set in stone. They'll be able to change it as they go, as long as they're communicating with their counselor. So meeting with your counselor is always the most important thing. Counselors do have office hours, and students can make appointments with their counselors. Even now, we can have Zoom sessions and one-on-one. It's just a matter of emailing your counselor to set up meetings. Along with that, each year in the fall part of the year, in October, the district pays for all students to take the PSAT from 9th through 11th grade. It's a wonderful opportunity. Not every district does that. The students do it during the class day, and it's been continuing I believe it's the first Wednesday in October. I'm not 100% sure of the dates for this up and coming year, but we will definitely be sending out notices to all families about the upcoming PSAT. Well, what is the PSAT? I'll be going into a little bit more of information about the PSAT, but actually what it is, it's the practice SATs that all students have to take to apply to a 4-year college. It's basically an IQ test that allows schools to see where your student hits in benchmarks, and the benchmarks are math and English. See a question, let me see. Oh, not a question. So Khan Academy is a program that we also register your student, and we do it in 8th grade. PSATs are also offered in the 8th grade. Khan Academy allows your student to get support in math, English, science, and practice SATs. I strongly recommend that if you need some assistance in math work currently, Khan Academy is one of the best tutor programs that you can use. So one of the programs that, one of the things that I really push for kids is starting a binder of all of their awards and honors. So that way, senior year, when you're filling out college applications, you're not scrambling for all of that information. So starting it in 9th grade is super important. Also, participating in extracurricular activities like clubs, sports, being part of organizations on campus. It's hugely important. And then, of course, maintaining organization. Every school offers freshman year students, or at the beginning of every year to every student, a planner. It's given to them with it has all the rules, the guides, and then, of course, a weekly log where they can keep track of all their assignments. One of the worst things I see every year is students with crumpled up papers in their backpack, and they have no clue what assignments they need to turn in. And so making sure that your student is thoroughly organized is a huge help getting through that first year, because let's face it, that freshman year is really scary. Dual enrollment is another program. I've listed it on every slide for all 4 years, but I'm going to go into it in a little more depth in a later slide. Dual enrollment is applying to community colleges as a high school student and allows the students to take. Is that a question? Okay, so we can, sophomore year, you'll see it's very similar. We'll continue to ask your student to meet with counselors. Counselors take time at the beginning of each year to meet with all grade levels. We try to do a one-on-one meeting. If not a one-on-one, we try to do a group meeting. And that way we can make sure that the student is solid on their four-year plan and not wanting to make changes. One of the things that I always hear is, well, how do I know what course of four-year plan to put my student on if they have no idea what they want to do as a career or what they want to study in college? One of the best resources I like to use is called California Career Zone. It's a really friendly, user-friendly website that allows the student to take interest tests and see, excuse me, where their interests lie. And then it gives you every single background on schooling for college, high school, and then it tells you everything about the careers. This is one of the things I like to run with the freshman kids every year. And we'll sit down and in group settings and have them research what it is they might be interested in. And we want you to maintain organization and really participate in a variety of things. And when we get to the senior year, I'll explain a little bit more in depth on why we want you to stay heavily involved. Okay. So junior year, again, meet with your counselor. Here's where I'm going to start talking a little bit more about college. It is super important that all classes in your A to Gs, and I'll explain what that is in a little bit, have to maintain a C or better. If you have a student that gets a D in an English class, D is passing, it's not considered a college-ready grade. So I'm always making my juniors try to complete any repair or transcript repair by the end of their summer as a junior. That way we go into the senior year prepared to fill out college applications. This is also the year where it's one of the busiest years, if you ask me. This is when they actually will start taking the SAT and not just the PSAT. In May or June of their junior year, I strongly recommend that they schedule an SAT, and you want to schedule early, like in January. This year is a very rare year where we've had to cancel all SATs, and colleges are actually going to accept students in the fall term without SAT. So if you have a current junior and they're going to be a senior next year, SATs are going to be optional. There is a rumor that SATs will become an online test that will be offered in the fall to allow your student to test and try to be more competitive. So with dual enrollment, we're going a little more in depth on that. Dual enrollment and concurrent enrollment are two types of community college work that your student can participate in. One at the high school and the other actually on the community college campus. At the community college, we recommend students take summer courses through them. But with our school, and I believe every high school in the district is now offering dual enrollment on campus for students that are second semester freshmen all the way to seniors. And if they start in their freshman year, they have the opportunity to earn what is called an AA degree, an associate's degree. So 60 units, and they'll be able to apply to a four-year college and go straight into a four-year college as a sophomore. Make their college last only 2 years. It's an invaluable opportunity that we've recently started this school year. And we've got several, well, actually we started it 2 years ago. We have students that graduated last year that did head off to school with enough credits, not an AA, but enough credits to get them all the way into their sophomore year of college. I'm going to be going into a little bit more depth about that AA pathway later in the slides so that you can see the actual class load that a student would have to take in the summer and then also during their school year on their campus. Again, make sure you're tracking your awards, staying involved, and I always recommend leadership roles when you do stay involved. Captain of a team, or let's say the president of your ASB. That would be the student association on campus. You can also start applying for scholarships. I've only listed 2 here, but these are 2 really huge ones. Questbridge and Horatio Alger will allow your student to have a full ride with extras. And Questbridge will offer airplane, room and board, and all tuition and all costs, even study abroad, paid completely through the Questbridge scholarship. It's a fairly large scholarship. And it's based on the school that you choose. So if you choose Stanford, or let's say MIT, or one of the UC systems like UCLA, everything is covered, including travel. So they take very good care of their students. All right, let's move on. I'm trying not to be too wordy for you, so I have my fellow speakers get time in. Senior year, oh, it's a crazy year. It's, unfortunately, our seniors this year are finishing in such a different way. And I am seeing a lot of issues with senioritis. I'm scrolling all the way down because that is a real thing. Students have got to maintain their grades, even though we're in the middle of an online schooling and a pandemic. I'm seeing so many kids not realizing the damage they can do to their college applications, which is really crucial. So again, meet with your counselors. If you can visit colleges over the summer, colleges this year are doing wonderful virtual visits. Behind me, my backdrop is Sac State. They are doing a ton of amazing virtual tours of their campus. And in case you haven't already heard, the CSU system, all of the California State universities have decided to go online in the fall, as well as American River College. So your student, if they're a senior currently, they will be attending school online in the fall. So SATs, as a senior, your student can still test in senior year. They can test all the way into December. So if testing opens up, your student will have an opportunity to test all the way into December. And Highlands High School is a testing site. If they register early enough, they can get into either the November or December test. The October SAT is offered through the district and will take place on your student's campus. I'm unsure of how we're going to do that, if we are or are not, if we're on online, I'm sorry. If we're on campus, then every year in October, the same time as that PSAT, we offer all seniors the SAT. So it's vital to get your student to school as early as possible, to prepare, stay calm, be well rested, and have a solid breakfast that day. Because the test is a solid 4 hours long and is very tiring. FAFSA is another program for families to help pay for college. You get free money, and it actually stands for free application. Oh, sugar. I'm going to drop my memory here, but it is a free application for student aid. So FAFSA, every October, every school in the district, every high school in the district offers a application workshop night. We're hoping that Highlands High School will have one in early October, in the first week to second week of October. The deadline is March 2nd, and I hesitate to put that date on there, since so many families think, oh, I've got till March 2nd. The problem with that is the FAFSA is a competitive grant free monies. And the earlier you submit your FAFSA in your student senior year, the more grant money they could be awarded. So it's super important that your student attend the application workshop nights, and those will be heavily advertised so that it won't get past you. And we push the information from the counseling department on a fairly regular basis. Again, we want your kids to stay involved. We're going to help them at the beginning of their senior year. If you have a current junior, we'll be meeting with them first and foremost in September when we return to, or in August when we return to school. We'll be helping your student with UC applications and CSU applications. If they are a current junior, they'll be able to get into the application itself in August for the UCs. And the UC application is very lengthy and requires essays. They're called personal statements. If your student is interested, they can go online at UC Apply, and I'll have other resources later on in the presentation. They can go to UC Apply and look at the different prompts for the essays, and they can start practice writing their essays over the summer. CSU applications do not have essays, which is kind of awesome, but they do have a fairly lengthy application. Again, most counselors will do a application workshop throughout the semester with your students. And if you want a one-on-one with your counselor, don't hesitate to make an appointment and schedule a one-on-one to get through the application. All right. Let's move on. So here are the graduation requirements. I want everybody to be sure they understand that it takes 4 years of English, a year of world history, which you get in 10th grade, a year of US history, which you get in 11th. You get government economics in the senior year. And it's important that everyone understand you have to have 3 separate years of mathematics. This is one of the tougher ones, especially now with the integrated math. The first year is IM1 is crucial that they get that particular math. We have a variety of other maths going forward, but it does go from math 1, math 2, math 3, and then it can go into either calculus or stats, AP stats. You do need 2 years of PE, and the first year must be done in freshman year. And if a student fails the first year of PE, they will be mandated to recover that. And yes, failing PE can be a graduation disaster. I've had a couple of kids in the past that did end up thinking that PE wasn't important, and they were not allowed to walk the stage, and they had to do summer school after their senior year. So I push to my 9th graders, pass PE, it's crucial. Health is another requirement, and you can only take it in the 9th grade year. Otherwise, we will be placing it in your student's summer schedule to make up if they didn't take it in their 9th grade year, or if they didn't pass it in their 9th grade year. There is a visual and performing arts or world language requirement of 1 year. And you'll see when we go into the college requirements that it's going to be both. But for graduation purposes, they only need 1 year of either world language or the visual and performing arts. And that comes to a total of 220 credits with 65 elective credits. So all classes are crucial to graduation. All right, move on. Now here's the A to G requirements that I was speaking of earlier. These requirements are through the UC system and the CSU system, and they do change their requirements periodically. At last year's conference, they did say that the math requirement is on its way to 4 years of required math. Right now, it is just 4 years recommended. But if you look, the A to G requirement mirrors the requirements of the graduation requirements. So there'll be 2 years required history, 4 years of English, 3 years of math, I always push a student to take 4 years. Sometimes I don't win. Lab science, now our students are taking what's called Living Earth, that replaced biology. And next year, I believe the new course for chemistry will be called Chemistry of the Earth. I could be a little, that one. Okay. And then of course, the foreign language piece, that is a 2 years required. And I do recommend a student go all the way into AP if they're capable. It shows rigor, which I'll talk about a little bit more going forward, and makes them more competitive in the college application process. And there's the visual and performing arts. It's 1 year, and that can cover a variety of electives that your student chooses, from art to ceramics to digital media classes, choir. All of those meet the visual and performing art. And then of course, one college prep elective, and that can be anything as long as it meets the A to G requirement. So any extra years of foreign language, any visual performing arts, things like that. You'll notice that PE is not on this list. It is not an A to G. It is strictly a graduation requirement. Your student must maintain a C or higher in these A to G requirements. Okay. All right, so here's that pathway that I was mentioning earlier. And if you look, it breaks down the course requirements from 9th through 12th grade. If you look, it starts in the spring term of the 9th grade year, and this is something that we just in for this current school year, and it will affect freshmen next school year. So we'll be trying to identify any freshman students that would like to begin the process of an AA degree in their freshman year. We will sign them up in the fall, and they will begin their HCD course in the spring term. As you see, each course is kind of broken out, and we've carefully slotted them into those spots. There are summer semester requirements, and there are for each semester in order, or each summer after freshman year, in order to help them maintain or earn the full 61 units to get their AA. Okay. So here's AP courses. When we're talking about AP courses, these courses usually begin in the sophomore year. At our site, we offer AP Euro, or AP European History. Every level, and as you go throughout the years, the students are going to get offered more and more opportunities to take an AP course. In our resource page, I have placed the course guide for the district, so you could go in and check out all the different courses that your specific site offers as far as AP courses and other CTE courses. AP courses allow your students to really challenge themselves and to really set themselves apart and make themselves competitive when it comes to the college application process. At the end of each year, students, and actually it's happening this week, students are taking AP exams. Those AP exams, if they score a specific grade and they pass the exam, they can earn college credit. And it will go off to the college. Now here's the thing, when college takes an AP course, it can either take the course as the face of what it is. So if it was an AP statistics class, they can take it as an AP stats class, or some colleges will not take it at face value. They will take it as an elective. So the difference, so basically what you're doing is, instead of getting math credit, you're getting an elective credit, which all colleges do make you earn elective credits. The really great part about the AA pathway is that every class that the students take and pass with a C or higher will be considered exactly what it is. So if they take English in their senior year, they take the English 300 and 301, they're earning freshman college English credit, which is huge and a great opportunity. And that's why they're able to move so much farther ahead with the AA pathway. They're getting college classes in their high school. So they're getting dual credit. So high school credit plus college credit at the same time. It's meeting graduation requirements and college requirements. So AP exams do have to, or AP courses do require that the student register with College Board. One of the things that we're seeing is that students have never created what I call a college email. It's super important that the student creates a specific college email, and I recommend Google because that tends to have less problems when you're on College Board. When you register with College Board, they're going to have you go through your email to take all these AP exams. They'll send you messages through Google. Any other email has had trouble getting the messages from the AP, from College Board. So you can go and create your College Board site now. Just remember, if you're 8th grade on up, you've got to remember your username and password because it is a disaster if you can't go back in. They don't want you to create a new account because it causes even more mayhem. All right, I'm going to try to speed it up just a tiny bit. We'll go on to the next slide. And don't hesitate to email me and ask questions. This is a lot of information. I'll just briefly touch on this is the CSU and UC requirements for acceptance. There's a lot of really cool programs and things that your student will need in order to qualify for both schools. I tried to put a list of the things that your student will need to start thinking about as far as applying to these schools, as well as putting the application links on this page. Okay. All right, I wanted to make sure we talk about community college. Community college is a great opportunity to get a guaranteed transfer to any UC or CSU. I shouldn't say any UC, but there are several UCs that participate in something called a tag agreement. A tag agreement is something that the CSUs, they create a contract with the community colleges, and they accept students as long as they've met the contract requirements and have completed all the courses. It's a great opportunity for students to test. Again, these are some of the qualifications and programs that they offer. American River College, again, will be online next year, and there is a virtual tour there for you. They have great programs. If your student's not interested in a 4-year degree, they do offer a ton of certificate programs from electrician, and I'm just gonna try to remember a few off the top of my head, electrician, from culinary arts to automotives. And their automotive program is phenomenal and free. Your students' first 2 years of community college is completely free thanks to the new movement in California. So you do have to follow some deadlines and application qualifications, but 100% free community college. Okay. So I wanted to go over some of the things seniors are looking at this year. It's a very different year, and I'm going to try to go quickly with the rest of my slides. Sorry, Keisha. Senior checkout. I want to make sure all families know that senior checkout is coming up. Your school will be sending out information on the date. You've got to make sure that you're dropping off textbooks, computers, and paying all fines and fees. It is going to be drive-through. Your student must stay in their cars. They're not allowing anyone to get out of their cars because of the distancing. During that time, your student will receive their cap and gown, their awards, cords, sashes, if they've received any type of award over the last few years. And then if they were on honor roll or principal's honor roll, or if they got accepted to a college, we'll have t-shirts there for those students. At that point, I know for Highlands High School, we'll be passing out diplomas and the cases. And one of the things I left off on the cap and gown, there will be tassels as well. All right. So what is graduation going to look like this year? It's going to be, let me make sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay. Virtual graduation is exactly that. In the next slide, I'll have the time and date for every school. Graduation is going to be similar. It'll be pre-recorded, but it will not be shown until your student's actual graduation time. We will have all the speeches with the superintendent, the principals, the valedictorians, the salutatorians, and of course the student body presidents. At least at our site, we allow student body presidents to have a speech. I'm not 100% sure about all the other sites. We will be calling the names of all the graduated students, and your student will have to have met the graduation requirements in order to participate and have their name called. What we recommend is that you have your student wear their cap and gown and have a ceremony in your living room with the ceremony going on your television. I know it doesn't seem the same, but we've got to encourage our kids to finish strong and make sure that they're meeting all the graduation requirements for this graduating year. Okay. So here are the different times and dates per school. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to your counselors. The counselors are working so hard to ensure that everyone is meeting the graduation requirement. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to give me a call. And yeah, I think that would be my last slide. Oh, and summer school. Yes, sorry, forgot about summer school. Summer school is actually being, counselors are actually registering students, high school counselors are registering students as we speak. Letters should be going out no later than tomorrow, but if you know your student needs to recover either health or fix some Ds or repair some other grades, you can go to the link up at the top where it says program overview, and that will take you to a questionnaire or a survey. You fill that out and it will come to the district office to ensure that your student is signed up for the proper classes. There are going to be 3 sessions of summer school. The first session will start June 1st, and the sessions will go all the way until July 30th. So each session is 3 weeks long, and it will be an online program called Edgenuity. I've got a lot of kids that already have been working on it. It's a solid program where it gives them videos, it gives them quizzes, and really helps them get through the recovery that they need. So they'll be able to do 1 course per session, allowing them to earn up to 15 units or 15 credits by the end of the summer. All right, I think that's my time. Don't hesitate to ask questions.
Hello, and thank you everyone for joining us to hear more about college and career readiness. My name is Keisha Plyman, and today I will be talking a little bit about work experience education and career readiness and resources that we have available to help students become ready for their career paths, their college majors, and the workforce. So in Twin Rivers Unified School District, we do have career technical education, also known as CTE. We have a wide variety of different career academies and pathways that students can choose from, such as business and finance, agricultural natural resources, arts and entertainment, building trades and construction, just to name a few different pathways. So I am part of the Career Technical Education Department. Okay, so work experience is a program that students are able to take at the high school level, and this is helping students prepare for their careers. With work experience education, a main component of work experience education is work-based learning. And that'll be the next slide. Work-based learning is essential for career readiness. It helps provide students with exposure to real-world workplaces and allows them to also earn high school units as well. The students, this is normally their first job, so they're typically working in the retail industry or food industry, also in grocery stores. So their teammates, their colleagues, their managers, they understand that for a lot of the students, this is their first job. So they're more lenient and more patient with the students when they begin working. A lot of the students are very excited and eager to begin working, and a lot of the managers are even surprised if this is their first job or their high school students. So the students are very excited to start working. So work-based learning is really an essential tool for students. Work-based learning and work experience education is also available at 4 different high schools. So I'm teaching this program at Highlands High School, Foothill High School, Rio Linda High School, and also Grant High School. Students who participate in work-based learning and who are working, they learn essential 21st century skills, such as building their confidence. And this is important not only in the workplace, but also in the classroom as well. Students are also working on their communication skills. I personally do visit the students at their work sites, and I'm able to check in with their managers and see how the students are doing and if they're progressing at their work sites. And I'm always impressed to see the communication skills with the students, not only with the customers that come in, but how they're speaking professionally and articulating to their managers these workplace skills. Also, students are learning adaptability, which is very important during this time. During the pandemic, a lot of workplaces were forced to change, and so students were forced to adapt. And that is a key skill that a lot of employers are looking for today, is adaptability. So students are learning that also when they're working. Another important skill that students are learning is teamwork. And again, this is also essential in the workplace, also in the classrooms. And these are transferable skills. Not only are these skills important to the jobs that students have right now, they're also important to any job that students want to work in the future, whether they become a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, a cosmetologist. These are skills that are important for them to know and that will help them in their futures. Also, students are learning skills such as problem solving, which is very important. So students don't have to rely on maybe their managers to help them. They can become creative at work and become innovative. And it's helping them with skills so they can think quickly on their feet to solve problems in the workplace. Work experience is a program and a class available, again, at the 4 high schools that I mentioned. This class can be taken as a junior or a senior for elective credit. Students can earn up to 10 units per semester by taking this class. In the classroom, we do focus on core career competencies, such as learning time management. For any student who is working, they're probably balancing school plus their jobs and maybe even after school activities such as clubs that they're a part of or sports. So it's really important that students learn how to manage their time and to balance these things. And again, this is for any student that's working, not just in the work experience program. Students are also learning leadership skills, which is important to put on their resume, on their college applications. Leadership skills are essential not just in the workplace, but also if students want to become an entrepreneur, these skills are important. Students are also tasked with learning new skills. So we hope that students will get out of their comfort zone and be able to learn new skills to help them succeed. We also help students stay on course, so with planning goals. Students are able to set goals for themselves to help them stay on course, long-term, short-term goals. If it's to go to college, if that's a goal of theirs, we help them with that. And to set those goals, maybe to earn a certification or maybe to go more in advanced career technical education programs at the community college level. So it's helping students stay focused to reach those goals. Okay. We also have business partners that have shared goals to help students become career ready and prepare them for the workforce. One of the partnerships that we have is with the state of California's Employment Development Department, also known as EDD. And they provide workshops for students. They have a youth division called the Youth Employment Opportunity Program, also YEOP. Some of the workshops include resume writing, which a lot of students think maybe they don't know what a resume is, or maybe they don't have any skills to put on a resume. So we like them to think about the things that they have done throughout their educational career. Have they been on any teams? Have they been a part of any clubs? Have they maybe even babysat? So those are skills that they can put on their resumes. Also, this program offers mock interviews. So these are career professionals from the state of California who come in and offer interview techniques for students. So when they leave the classroom and go into the real world interviews, they're more prepared, they're more confident because they've already practiced. Also, there is a workshop for soft skills. So soft skills are the skills that I went over, such as communication and teamwork. These are essential skills for students. So after they get hired for the job, they're able to keep the job. They know how to show up to work on time. They know how to adapt to change. They know how to be resilient. So there's a workshop for those skills as well. Also, the YEOP program offers a workshop for job searching as well, and I will give you a look at the tool that is used for job searching. Also, I just want to quickly point out that this program is not just for students who enroll in a work experience class. These programs are available for anyone through the YEOP program. You can reach out to them. They do one-on-one workshops and small group workshops as well. Okay, and with job searching, the Cal Jobs workshop, which is on the next slide. This is a really great tool to use for students that are looking for a job. So it combines all the job search engines such as Indeed, LinkedIn, Craigslist. All of those jobs are on Cal Jobs platform. However, it's a secure search engine ran by the state of California. So it filters out any scams. Sometimes you might run into a job that posting that says you can earn $500 a day working from home. Well, that might not be a legitimate job. So this job search engine actually filters out those jobs. So all of the jobs on this site are legitimate. You can also reach out to YEOP for a tutorial on how to navigate the Cal Jobs system. It will teach you how to properly set up your profile, upload your resume, and how to filter for jobs. There's a wide variety of jobs that are open right now. Even though the pandemic is ongoing, Students are still working. There are students who are working right now at Walmart, at Target, in grocery stores, in the food industry. So students are still getting work permits and they are still working. So if you have a student that is interested in a job, I would recommend that they use CalJobs website to search for jobs. Okay, another business partnership that we have is through Paratransit. Paratransit provides the Moving Youth to Jobs Travel Training Program. This helps students learn how to navigate public transportation with the bus and light rail. Also, other transportation modes such as jump bikes are the street bikes that you might see downtown. Also, the Smart Ride system. This will help students become more independent when needing to get to their jobs or their internships and become more self-sufficient. This also helps students become aware of how to safely travel. They're able to download apps so that they can track the buses in real time. The picture that we have here is a group of students who went out on a travel training program. We went downtown. Downtown Sacramento is a hub for a lot of different career industries right now. They have a lot of local and state governments, such as the city, county. There's a lot of jobs down there. Also, there's the arena downtown and also a lot of medical offices and hospitals. So it's really important that students feel confident being able to travel outside of their neighborhood or their community if they're looking for jobs or internships. And I do want to touch a little bit on internships that are available for students. Now, I do want to note that with the current pandemic, a lot of internships are on hold right now. However, some have gone virtually, so there are some virtual internships. So you may want to check with these companies to see if internships have gone virtual, since a lot of companies are working online right now. Students are working internships for SMUD, Safe Credit Union, Bank of America, Kaiser, SETA. There's also programs such as Passport to Adulthood, this HEAD program, and also Summer at City Hall. Programs are offering internships during the summer, but there's also after school internships as well. So I'm hoping that these internships will be coming back in the future. So I still want to update you on possible internships for students. I do want to note that about 65% of people who intern get hired for the company that they intern with. So putting an internship on your college application or on your resume is a great resource for students. It's also a foot in the door with some of these companies, and students are able to network. So internships are a really great tool when it comes to career readiness. Now, you may have students that are too young to work right now, or maybe students don't want to commit to a full work schedule or an internship. Volunteering is another way to get career readiness skills, such as leadership or working on a team. Now, the same thing goes with volunteer opportunities right now are a little scarce, just like with the internship. So a lot of summer volunteer opportunities are placed on hold right now. However, I did find out that Fairy Tale Town is offering an internship starting at ages 13 through ages 18, and it's called the Volunteer Program. They will be having an orientation on Saturday, July 18th, and their address is here. So if you have students that are looking to volunteer for more career skills or to put things on their resume, this is also another great resource. The city of Sacramento does provide great resources for volunteer opportunities. Also, a lot of food banks are looking for volunteers as well. So if your student is interested in volunteering, there are resources available. I know a lot of students are at home right now with technology. This is a great opportunity for students to be exploring their career paths. This might help them choose a career technical education path to get into. It might help them choose their college major, and just also maybe help them decide if they want to start a business or become an entrepreneur. One of the career exploration websites that to use is NEPRIS. NEPRIS offers industry chats, so students can talk one-on-one or in groups to industry professionals such as in sports medicine or the fashion industry. They can get insights on career salaries, education levels it takes to get into these careers, so it's really helpful. So I know Ms. Lee mentioned the Career Zone earlier. Career Zone is a great way for students to take a personality or an interest assessment so they can look at different careers based on their interest as well. Okay, and I believe that concludes my slides. I am available to help if you have any questions regarding career technical education, resume, job search tools. Please feel free to reach out to me and I'll be happy to assist if students are looking for jobs, techniques that can help them with getting jobs. So that's the goal. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions.
I wanted to add one more thing since I saw the work permit question. At Highlands High School, counselors are completing work permits for students. It's a little bit faster, a little bit easier, but what I would suggest, or I will give you a heads up, we are not allowed to give work permits to students if they have an F in their current grading. And so going forward, summer will not be an issue, but until June 6th, I believe, is the new work permit deadline. Otherwise, as Mr. Soto put up on the Q&A, the district office does do work permits. Oh, and then Mr. Soto, will we be having our resource? We created a resource page with a variety of information and links. Will we be putting that together with this presentation?
That's a good point from Ms. Lee. What we're going to be doing as we finish, well, a little bit later on, we're going to be sending the presentation with the handout for you, plus this video that is going to be uploaded. And we'll share that with you all as well. We'll translate this presentation also into Spanish. Before we forget, I wanted to share next week on Wednesday, I apologize. We're going to do a workshop with our California Student Aid Commission. They'll be talking about the different types of financial aid when it comes to here within California, whether it's both federal or state federal aid. So we'll have that information as well next week, and we'll also share that with you. Here's one of the questions I was asked by, which I believe Ms. Lee, you can answer this. When it comes for dual enrollment, as far as a parent asked that their son is in 9th grade, how does that look like as far as applying online for let's say in this case, for dual enrollment or concurrent enrollment? You're on mute, Ms. Lee.
So sorry. So regardless of dual enrollment or concurrent enrollment, students will have, all students that want to participate in either the pathway or the summer program, the students will have to fill out an application through ARC. Within our resource page, we've created links to show you the first step would be to apply to what's called CCC Apply. That's for all community colleges. And within that, you would choose American River College as the school that you want to attend, or whichever community college, and then go through the application. Normally, we would have a workshop on our site helping students complete these applications. So what if I have a huge request for it, I could do a Zoom like walkthrough. Otherwise, I'm willing to do one-on-one appointments with my students. So if you make an appointment with your counselor, they can do a Zoom meeting and assist in completing those applications. I know that I've already worked with a couple of students completing their ARC application just this week. So
I see I responded to that question to the mother. I see that aren't any other questions that I see being asked. In this case, this is my contact information. What I'm going to do, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me. Share the information from Ms. Lee and Ms. Hyman via the chat as well. What I'll do, I'm going to stop this recording right now, and then I'm going to hold on, and then we'll respond to some questions that we have via the chat. That way, we could then answer as many questions as we can. Let's see.